with a great deal of emotion, we're going to have to state that there'll be no more Wolverhampton Speedway in the year 2024. It means that the Wolves will have its final meeting in October of 2023. Ian Brookfield of the Wolverhampton City Council, he said it's going to be a tragedy that Wolverhampton is going to lose one of its top sports venues. This year, the Intain Group, who controls the land where the Wolverhampton Wolves race Speedway, they informed the management that this year will be the final year that they'll go ahead and have the races, and they're not going to renew the lease of the land. What does that mean? It means that all the people involved with Wolverhampton Speedway, the riders, the management, the fans, the spectators, everybody, they're not going to have a Speedway team, and that's a tragedy for the city of Wolverhampton. The Intain Group, they plan to make a greyhound dog racing arena, and I guess they're going to race 6 nights a week or something like that, from what I read. If they're not racing that many nights, they could probably put a Speedway track in the middle there. But they're going to do a greyhound dog racing track where that Speedway track is. The Wolves managing director is David Parry. Now, he's been involved with the club in that capacity for the past 22 seasons. And he was involved in Speedway in the 1960s as a spectator. He turned to be a racer. And now he's the managing director of the club for 22 years. David went on to say this is a bombshell for Speedway to take away a key name from the sport for the past 96 years. It's very bad for Speedway. This unfortunate move does not diminish the Wolves' rich history and the impact it has had on the sport of Speedway. The Wolves are 5 times British League champion, 1991, 1996, 2002, 2009, and the final championship was in the year 2016. They had several successes in their rich history. 1996, they were the KO Cup champion. They were founded in 1928. That's when Australia brought Speedway to England. And they were having some test matches, a few races here and there. But then the war broke out and no more Speedway. Nearly 20 years after they stopped at Wolverhampton, the sport of Speedway really picked up. It's before the times of TV and the internet. And there was just huge crowds all over Great Britain of Speedway fans. And Arthur Simcock of Australia, he noticed that, and he brought the Speedway to Wolverhampton.
I'll be back.
October 14th, 1950, Arthur, he brought some Speedway riders over from Norwich over to Wolverhampton to do a test ride to check out Speedway, to see if Speedway was going to be successful in that city. And it was successful. In 1951, the Wolverhampton Wasp, they went ahead and they started their first meeting. And they raced the Sheffield Tigers, and they won 58-31. They competed in lower divisions at first, but in 1965, Wolverhampton, they moved up to the top tier, and they competed at the top level all but 1 year in 1981. Wolverhampton had its first success, winning the British League title in 1991. With sudden Sam Ermolenko, they recruited Ronnie Corey. And they had the brother of Sam, that's Dookie Charles Ermolenko. Niels Kristen Iverson. On August 29th, that was 2016, he set the track record over there in Wolverhampton with a speed of 52.69 seconds for one lap. Americans have always been behind the Wolverhampton Wolves Speedway team. A lot of the fans in America, they root for Wolverhampton, believe it or not. I see it all the time. And this year they had the amazing superstar, the young blood, Luke Becker. He went ahead and raced for the Wolverhampton team, and he did a fantastic job. When the news broke of the closing of the venue in Wolverhampton, I think 11,000 signatures were signed by the fans to support the team, to keep the team in Wolverhampton. And even British American promoter Steve Evans, he went ahead and passed a petition to all the Americans so they could sign and send it to Wolverhampton to keep the Wolves racing Speedway. This year, the British League lost the Wolves and the Panthers. The Panthers of Peterborough were established in 1970. They race in the East of England Showgrounds, and that's in Peterborough. It's very tragic news for both Speedway teams, and we sure pray for the cities involved that they can go ahead and find a new venue. I know that the sports fans, they really want to see Speedway. The riders, they need more tracks to ride, not less. You have all those riders that want to race and want to earn. So we pray for those people. We pray for those towns and cities to go ahead and get a new sports venue for Speedway. Many great Speedway riders, legendary riders of yesteryear have raced for Wolverhampton, starting Ole Olsen in 1975. But today, we're going to go ahead and we're going to highlight some of the modern gladiators, the warriors, the riders of the Wolverhampton Wolves. Here we go!